So today we're revisiting the Midland 98. Before I sent the repair back we did a few days ago, I wasn't that happy with what I listened to on our base station. I've had some comments to this effect. It did sound a bit weedy and rubbishy. I know our base station doesn't have an aerial plugged in and it's about 30 yards away, but I thought it should work better than that. So I just wanted to... The test with Mr. Chippy was fine, but I just wanted to verify that it was right. So what I've done, we have, hopefully, one of every set ever produced for the UK in stock, and many of which are brand new in boxes. This isn't for some bizarre collection. This is so that we can compare voltages when sets come in which don't have service manuals, etc, etc. So here is our Midland 98, except the box is empty. So you know what's happened, don't you? I've lent it to somebody and forgotten all about it, and there we go. So much to my brilliant idea. So what I found is a Midland 98. This is probably the customer's one, with no fuse, and I've connected it up, and hey presto, no power. That's just what you expect when you find a set with no fuse. They then reverse polarity it, and then they damage the set. So we're going to fix this. I'm going to fix this. That's the royal we, so that we can do a comparison. And I'll set up a camera on a different base station and we'll compare the two. I've dug out a 6-pin mic. It's not with this set, but it's a Midland 6-pin mic. I'm going to make up a new mic, but I haven't got any 6-pin plugs. It gets worse. Well, I don't mind telling you all, that was an easy fix. Got the display back, and oh, we haven't got transmit though. No. It's going into transmit, but it's not transmitting. Okay. If I just put the volume back up, or plug the extension speaker back in, and select channel 20. It's as deaf as a post. Okay, no transmitting, it's deaf as a post. But the initial fault was someone's had the front panel off, and down there rather than it being soldered between the board, the front panel board and the main board, it's a connector, and somebody hadn't lined that up, and so it was just not connected. Anyway, still got some major snag, so carry on fault finding. So the next thing I found is by pressing on the board we get full signal. Well folks, I found that dry joint. Not the usual printed circuit board trouble. It's quite simply to the aerial connector there. There's a resistor . And it looks dry joint at the bottom end as well, so we'll get that soldered back. So that's got receive working, display working, that's two separate reasons, and now we've got no transmit. But chances are that if someone's transmitted on that with that aerial effectively disconnected, then they'll have blown the output transistor or the driver. So I'll look into that with our beautiful Russian RF voltmeter. Just turn the volume down and let's have a look. I have to take this shield plate off first. Okay then, with the shield plate off, we'll put the probe on the output of the driver transistor, because that pad clearly is the well, I'll tell you what, we'll test it there. And unplug the test speaker. Wow, well, we've got no lack of drive there. No, there's no output. So I'll just go up a scale. So loads on the input, nothing on the output. So we'll unsolder that transistor and see what it is. So we've dug out the Atlas peak tester, semiconductor tester. It's a 2SC2078. So there'll be no trouble in having one of those in stock. So just connect it up. So why would anybody take the front panel off a set with that kind of problem? Interesting, that's showing us working. The plot thickens. So fast forwards a day, and Mr. Chippy's had a look at this for dry joints, and the output transistor, which is 2SC2078, has been changed as well. So we've now got this radio back in the land of the living. So I will just quickly check that we really have. It's doing 4 watts. While yep, it's doing the right deviation. I don't think I mentioned on the video that the deviation control is under there. There's a preset just under that wiring, just there. And that is deviation on these radios. I hope I didn't say that it was the front preset just there, which is a kind of meter course adjustment. So we now have the radio in good working order. It's receiving very well, and so what we're going to now do is set up another camera on the base station, and we'll just do a quick count on there. We'll see what this sounds like, and then we'll look at that one which I did for the customer, which sounded weaky and dreadful, and we will see. So this is the customer's radio, and I have just been through it again, and I've just reset the RF meter because it was being a bit lazy. What's that read? Yes, it's doing 4 watts on the test set. It's and it's every time you key the mic, this meter varies. So now I'm going to put it into the aerial. So channel 20 still. It's relative to SWR. Right, we'll just call through. I've got the power connector here. The customer's got it to spade connectors, and I just can't get a grip on those, and we don't do spade connectors, so it's a bit of a stupid situation. I'd cut them off normally, but it's a retail customer. So I'll just pop this onto 31, and we'll put a call through onto our base station.
21, testing our Midland 98 with the Midland 98 microphone into our base station. Testing 1 2 3 4 5 5 4 3 2 1. Tango 21, testing the customer's Midland 98 with our microphone. This is our microphone. Tango 21, testing the customer's Midland 98 with the customer's microphone. This is the customer's microphone.
So we'll see what that sounds like between our Midland with our microphone, the customer's Midland with our microphone, and finally the customer's Midland with the customer's microphone. And then I've recorded a bit in the on the organ, so you can stop watching if that doesn't interest you. Recorded it using our quite getting on Sony DV camcorder, because it has to be the same format as what this is in. This is recorded into a Sony digital hard drive recorder, and it creates DVDs, editable DVDs. So it needs to be in the same format, otherwise you end up not being able to combine the two videos when it's edited together. So thank you for watching, and over to me on the organ. So here we are with the Konica 1877 pipe organ here at Tango Towers, and you don't often see pipe organs kind of up close. So there's some of the 660 pipes. Half the pipes live in that wooden box, which has shutters on the front which are vertical, a bit like Venetian blinds, thus enabling you to change the volume by opening and closing those shutters. So let's zoom in, we can see some of the pipes in there, and the rest of the organ pipes live on a soundboard, as it's called, open to environment, and so they're always the same volume. And everything about an organ like this is purely mechanical. There is nothing electrical apart from a centrifugal fan which draws 550 watts, and that's in that wooden box there, which would have gone onto this organ in the 1950s. And I love big switches, so there we've got big switches. So because this organ's 1877, you'll notice it's 56 note keys. It goes up to G, whereas organs post 1914 will be 61 note and go up to C. So you have a more limited compass because the standards changed in 1914. So in this kind of era, we're looking at 56 note. Had it been a little bit earlier, it would have been 54 note. Had it been 1880s, it'd be 58 note. The top keyboard is called the swell because it can swell out. That's the keys for the pipes which live in the wooden box with the shutters. And the lower manual is called the grate, and that's the unenclosed pipes. And on the left there's 4 speaking stops, and just 4 there, and they start at the bottom: open diapason, which is 8 foot pitch, raw flute, which is 8 foot pitch, Gemshorn, which is 4 foot pitch, and oboe, which is a reed, which is 8 foot pitch. And then you've got 3 couplers: swell to pedal, so you can play the top keyboard from the pedal board; swell to grate, so you can play the top keyboard from the bottom keyboard; and grate to pedal, so you can play the bottom keyboard from the pedals. And the pedals are down there, and there are 30 of them. You've got 2 composition pedals which automatically select a preset selection of stops on the right hand jam, and you have a ratchet swell pedal, not the balanced one you get on newer organs, in the middle. And then if we move up on the grate side, which is the right, you've got the board-on 16, which is the only pedal stop, and again it's mechanical action. And then you've got the next 6 stops: open diapason 8, Dulciana 8, stop diapason 8, flute at 4 foot, principal at 4 foot, and 15th at 2 foot. The large pipes in the towers either side are speaking pipes, they actually do play, and the ones in the middle, most of them play, and the rest are there just to make the pattern up. But the 660 odd pipes are inside. This is one of the restorations we did. It came in quite a state. There's its file from a chapel in Halifax. Just see if we can find some of the. It came in. It had been vandalised in the church, and when the church was having to be demolished because of snags with the building. So we bought the organ. Oh, there we go. So you can see from those photos it was heavily vandalised, and we spent thousands having the pipes redone. And some fool had painted the case blue, and considering it's supposed to be French polished pitch pine, that also took up some time. So this is a 19,000 hour restoration, and it was completed about 10 years ago. And although it's casually for sale, you know, well, I'd rather play it. So we've got other organs here. The one over there is 1888, and that was nearing completion. So that's another one. We have another 8 in store here. Well, it looks like we're competing with the background music system as ever. It's gone over to Radio BBC World Service, so we must be on the hour, whatever hour that is. I think it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon. This piece is Gloria Excelsis, and I think it's pronounced Bortniansky or something like that. Bortniansky. Never did do languages. And it's just 2 short pages, written about the turn of the century, 1890s, and I think it's ideal for a complemental organ like this because it's a similar kind of age, some nice cobwebs. This organ was last tuned about 2 years ago, so you have to bear with that because it takes a couple of hours to do it, and we really don't have the time unless we were having a customer around to purchase or something. But it's pretty stable, it's just the reed which goes out a bit. So here we go, Gloria Excelsis. And that's all you get, and the book is Church Voluntaries Volume 3, and although this was published 1903, it's still in print. So there you go. That's the Tango Towers pipe organ.